All right, we're on a larger property. A lot of pipes going in the ground. A lot of pipe. We're competing against trees, and we're going to win. We're going to win because we're going to have a lot of airspace, and any roots that try to grow in our system are going to get air pruned. Check this out. That is a full frame Screaming Demon. That thing's badass. This thing is really gonna rip, man. This thing is truly set up to move an insane amount of water. Always make your sump pit deeper than your yard drain trench. Now we got the luxury of having a track hoe, but DIYers, you want to definitely get your sump pit deeper than your trench. You want the trench to be dry. You want the water to fall into the sump trench. I do recommend a quad pack, and I'll tell you why. We've learned that a quad pack air prunes any tree roots. So you're truly building a system that will last forever. One and done. Do it right the first time. This is a quad pack. You've seen the trees. We're actually building right by a couple of trees, and I'm not worried about it because with all this void, these pipes, all that air void, roots can't survive in that. And as long as your sump pit for your Screaming Demon is deeper than your trench, you're not going to leave any water behind. So how can a root survive in 4 pipes with all this ventilation? It can't. It'll just dry up and fall off. See, this downspout is just going to lay right here, and it's just going to flood the sump pit along with everything else, and the sump's going to take care of business. This is our Screaming Demon, micro Screaming Demon. So this is our solid pipe. They're just going to cut it off right there. The water's just going to fall right into the sump pit. Done. We got 1/2-inch holes drilled throughout our micro Screaming Demon. I mean, this thing is just ridiculous. This thing is just absolutely sick. We're going to have a discharge line. We're going to be up on the fence, and we're going to take it out to the front. They'll just end up cutting that pipe off. The water will just fall right in. We got a D-box, so we're not worried about debris in our sump pit. We're catching it in the distribution box. Yeah, that's moving some water. I mean, that's what a 1/2-horse pump will do.
This is what it's
been doing religiously.
Now, running your discharge line, there's so many tricks that we do, and we don't show them, not all of them anyways, because we're still installing. This one is ran down a fence, and we've shown that now a few times, and the driveway has natural slope. In the north, don't worry about your driveway icing up. It's only going to run during a thaw. By the time it's cold again, it's not going to be running. So there won't be any problems. And in that respect. If you are concerned, you know, right before dusk, if it's going to flash freeze in the north, you know, you can throw some rock salt down to create a truly safe surface. Now, the reason why we're using the driveway here is because where the property line was, there was no grass. They literally had cement driveway right to their property line. Otherwise, I would dump it in the grass and just let it slowly dissipate, you know, find its way into the street curb gutter. You know, those curb gutters just take the water right to a storm sewer. Now, if you live on a dirt road, you know, or a rural area, and you don't have the luxury of some of these things, don't worry, we deal with that too. There's always a way. There's always a way. If you're trying to get water out of your backyard and you don't have a fence, you could run the discharge line down the side of your house and just do it, you know, inconspicuously. I've actually put a discharge line inside a 3x4 downspout so that it looks like it's just coming off the gutter of the house. Now, notice how we ran this discharge line on the fence. This is sloped. I want you to know that. This has slope. We had to run it up out of the sump, out of the Screaming Demon, you know, sump pit. We had to run it up the fence all the way to the top so that we had slope going towards the front yard. So the downspout run with solid pipe comes here. The water just falls into the sump pit. Our yard drain pipe, which is a solid pipe as well with basins on it, that's to the right. That goes right there. And then our French drain trench pipe, the perforated, that goes right there. That creates that monster void at the bottom of your French drain that moves all that water. And that giant void that high octane creates, when you have a double barrel system or a triple barrel system, these inlets are so big the water can just move from one pipe to the other as it balances and it seeks level as it's running down the slope of the trench. But right here, this is what we work so hard for. You know, we put all these half-inch holes in the Boffman Tile Company's dual wall culvert pipe. Nothing stronger. You can drive anything on this that you want. We're going to basically just take a rake and we just hold those down and we're going to just dump the stone in with the ditch witches. You know, we have D boxes to catch the garbage. We have D boxes on the downspouts. And then we just tied it into the solid pipe only. Everything runs to this sump pump pit. Everything. So it's a complete, you know, yard dewatering system.